Well, duh. You do know what I am, right?
Lacking in compassion.
After months of rare blades, quests, and modes, we've finally received Torna the Golden Country to cap off Xenoblade 2's extensive DLC lineup. It's been a fun ride up to this point, but now it's time to go out with a bang. In this case, however, Monolith Soft decided to go out with a stellar nuclear explosion, elevating the bar for expansion passes into the goddamn stratosphere. For the uninitiated blokes, Golden Country details the conflict of the Aegis War, an event resulting in not a lot of people really being alive by the end of it, because people don't usually live after being killed in my experience. If you know anything about Xenoblade 2's main game, you know things aren't going to end all that well for our heroes. The amount of content provided is massive for an expansion, so much so I'm more inclined to call it Xenoblade 2.5 since it's getting its own physical release. But is it worth it to a seasoned Xenoblade 2 veteran or a starry-eyed JRPG newbie hoping to sink their teeth into something new? Well, let's resonate with our core crystals, burn the ever-loving fuck out of Mithra, and see what makes Golden Country so golden. As an expansion to Xenoblade 2, Golden Country takes great strides to improve upon the mechanics already present in the main game, the first and foremost being the refined battle system. Blades and drivers now form teams and can switch seamlessly between each other. Being able to swap between the character you control so dynamically makes it feel more like a group effort between driver and blade that helps with engaging you into the gameplay. All this is further accentuated by the conveniences they've added to the menus and control scheme. The UI is beautiful with its golden embellishments and coloration, plus being able to switch between drivers and blades is streamlined to a simple press of the button. They've also added a community system which makes tracking side quests a breeze. These ease-of-life additions are much welcomed improvements that I wish were in the main game. And you can't talk about this game without talking about its soundtrack. Jesus, tap dancing Aegis on a Narcipair jelly, is this game rocking out more than a rock. Rule of thumb. No, rule of all 5 fingers on your hand and then some. If the generic battle theme of your game is about as jazzy as La La Land, you know you're in for a musical ride for the ages. Or should I say, Aegis. All that's nice and cute, but something probably just as important as gameplay to a JRPG is the thick, luscious, voluptuous story and characters. Also boobs. And Golden Country manages to knock that one right out of the park as well. The basic premise is that Malos is not being a very nice person, so a white-haired hunk named Adam wants to beat him up. Simple enough, but the journey there is chock full with heartwarming moments and charming characters which all culminate into a beautiful yet tragic ending. The later cutscenes made my heart flutter from exhilaration, then sink into despair. You know in the back of your mind that Torna was doomed, yet you grew attached to the world and people inhabiting it. And to see them fall in the midst of the destruction will give even the coldest of bastards a little heartbreak. It's truly a spectacle to witness Mithra and Malice's battle to the death while the instrumental to drifting souls further empowers the dramatic climax. However, not everything in Golden Country is perfect, unfortunately. The voice acting, for starters, isn't really stellar. Don't get me wrong, there are some fantastic performances here, especially with Malos. Malice is having such a good time being a piece of shit, it's hard not to smile and laugh along with him. Listen to how nonchalant and confident this bastard is.
See you later, partner!
However, that can't be said for the rest of the cast. Particularly Minoth and at times Laura and Adam. They can give a decent performance, but there are these awkward moments here or there where the delivery's just... eh.
What is happening?
This is a battle between the Aegises.
And then there's Milton. If I were to describe Milton, it would be... because that's what Milton is. Nothing. The only reason I see him existing is to die and make Mithra change into Pyra, but like, that's really it. I mean, Mithra sort of made an entire country explode, so did you really need this little brat to kick the bucket in order to turn into Tumor Chest over here? There's also kinda, sorta massive side quest roadblock near the end of the game. Basically, before the final fight, you have to complete a slew of side quests to raise the community level, and it's just... Like, the side quests themselves aren't all that bad, but doing it continuously sort of gets monotonous. And having it right before the final battle eats away at the hype that was built up. Being me, though, I would have completed them all before finishing regardless, but I could see this being a major slog for some people. Also, a final thing. Was Gormat really necessary? I mean, it's neat and all to see what old Gormat looks like. until he realizes it's just Gormott without Torgoth.
But Torgoth's in there, and you visited to find dead guys, and find a guy with a butt chin.
I mean, yeah, you fucking moron. But is barbecue gourmet really that much better? I mean, it certainly smells better, am I right? It's neat in concept to see what a Titan was like 500 years before the main game, but Gormott doesn't really do anything with it. Why wasn't it more ordained? I mean, it would have been the perfect excuse to meet Emperor Hugo, and more Ordain's developed enough during the Aegis War to have interesting contrasts to the current version, like maybe being more lush with vegetation since the Titan's a little younger. I don't know, Gormott just feels like a missed opportunity since there's not really much different. Regardless, Golden Country's strengths heavily outweigh its cons. Even if Bilton's kinda pointless, he's not eating up too much time and has plenty of endearing moments with the cast. Even if the side quest roadblock is a damn slog to get through, you still end up with a dramatic and satisfying conclusion. Even if older Gormott's just sort of there, it's still Gormott, damn it. Its refined battle system, its beautifully realized environments, and simply spectacular OST more than cements Golden Country as a must-play for fans of Xenoblade, or really anyone looking for a good RPG. Now, do I recommend you play Golden Country before or after playing Xenoblade 2? Well, it may differ from person to person, but I'd recommend it after the main story. A lot of the great moments in Golden Country are made all the more substantial if you know what happens in the main game. If you play before Xenoblade 2, it still has its charm, but it won't deliver the same impact. All these strengths culminate into what I believe to be one of, if not the best expansion content in recent memory, and all this isn't even counting the content you get for the main game. For $30, the expansion is more than worth your time if you like Xenoblade 2 or are just a fan of JRPGs. And that's all I wrote for this one. Thank you for spending time with me in my sexy voice. I'd love to hear what you think below. Anyways, it's been fun, and have a wonderful day. See ya!